I think I like the rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember hearing about this show back in, I don't know, sometime in the past. People were hyped and excited for this, although when I saw the promotional artwork and the early release of its opening, my reaction was mostly defined by me saying, oh, okay. But then after watching some of the first few episodes, my reaction changed to, this is kind of neat. The first thing I noticed were the redesigns. Now, in the previous TMNT incarnations, the turtles would share pretty much the same design but with different colored masks and slight skin tone variations. But now, not only did they deviate even further from the default template, but the turtles also have their own distinct design, which I have to say I like it even more like this. I definitely like Raphael's buff and large sized body, which goes well with his personality. Although in regards to their personalities, even though their essential traits are kind of still there, I did notice some changes to the way they behave, especially with Master Splinter, who became more of a lazy old fart. Although I would be lying if I said this bothered me, like, at all, because for starters, I'm not that attached to the TMNT franchise to the point where seeing these alterations would awake some angry fanboy side of me, which by the way, this happens to everyone, but also because I can tell these decisions were made to complement the more comedic direction this show took, which I can get behind that just as long as it's funny, and sometimes it is, not always though, in fact, most of the time it isn't, but some humorous moments will occasionally pop up. Although where the show shines the most is in the animation. This is one of the most visually entertaining action cartoons you'll see in a while. The animators and storyboarders did a bang up job delivering well composited shots and dynamic movements that will keep you hooked from what I've seen so far. They would even take advantage of action-y tropes just to make funny gags, like when Raphael and one of the bad guys were staring at each other and the side of their faces were emphasized like a fucking clash between two opponents in the cover of a movie, and instead of them delivering an imminent attack on both sides, the bad guy sent a dog to attack Raphael, which was hilarious. The action is also very flashy in ways that gave me some Imaishi vibes, although I will say that when I watched the first episode, which was in my opinion where the fight scenes were at their best, I was concerned that if the series progresses, the passion and freshness in the action would slowly deteriorate and only regain that sparkle in special episodes. And it sort of felt that way, especially in one of the latest episodes I've seen as of writing the script. Now when it comes to action cartoons, I actually don't really demand fight scenes in every episode, especially if it's not necessary. In fact, it makes the cartoon feel less formulaic. However, the reason why with this show it's concerningly a bad thing is because so far the premises in each episode of The Rise of TMNT are pretty weak. I'm actually glad that the show doesn't really take itself seriously, and at the end the concepts are nothing more than just set pieces to offer some entertaining actions, and by themselves they really can't stand on their own. The characters for the most part seem like fine people that are worth watching, but only to some extent. I like listening to their voices, and the clumsiness of the turtles can be amusing in its own way, but at the end they're really not strong enough to carry the show on, and if they want to hold my attention they have to either offer more interesting stories or maintain the same energy in the action scene that they had in the first episode, which I doubt they'll do the last part forever in a consistent manner. But you know what, I want to highlight something else I've talked about already, which is the artwork. I like the rad and comic booky aesthetics that the show has. The color design is fantastic, they never fail to add appropriate color shades depending on their locations. The background art is well colored with stunning and memorable schemes, especially when it takes place in outdoor locations, but even indoors there's some cool shit. I would definitely recommend this to anyone who's in for some fun action cartoons that don't really take themselves too seriously, and the main appeal is the batshit crazy action. Nevertheless, I can't really say this finally got me into TMNT. I've been told that the CGI version from 2012 is pretty good, and who knows, maybe if I have time I'll check that one out and see if that will get me into this franchise. For now, I'll keep a soft spot for this one. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, and read this pinned tweet.